So today we'll discuss about that network, how we can control the network from JMeter. Okay, right. So we have ideal conditions, right? Some things like we have to simulate the load testing from the client side only. However, the client has, we have to use we have to have that particular environment. Then we can run the script. It's not like our client is using a remote location where he has a very low internet speed. And in our office, we are running with a 200 or 300 Mbps speed network. And you say all our tests pass. Whereas once it goes to production, sorry, once it goes to production, you will see the network issues because of the real time load testing. Right. So to simulate that, we have two options. One thing is either you can control the speed in our network router if you have any specific devices to have those things. Otherwise, you can control the JMeter as well. Okay, so let's see that. Using same thing yesterday test. I'll just give one only. I will add a variable table here so that you will see the differences. So this, the response for times you got it right. What are the values here? And you can see the latency is like okay, because currently my internet speed is now let's take with the speed test. Okay, something around 140 Mbps, right? So, but in the real time, the client may having 1 to Mbps or maybe lesser than that, or what are the number you want, right? So to get that, we have to go to JMeter properties. Okay, and search for I forgot that name. CP. Array. एक मिनट है I forgot the term. No, sir, because it has some zero in it, I was checking for that value.
CPT, something like that?
That's right. Try to CPT. Yeah. Yeah, let me Google it quickly. CPS.
Yes.
Okay. So here by default, this got disabled, right? And simply we will enable it. So we have to give some value. So how will we give the value? We need to calculate for CPS. It's like characters per second. Okay. So assume that you want to, so CPS formula is desired speed in kbps into 1024 by 8. This is a formula.
Okay.
Okay. So now I need a 2 kbps speed. That's 2 Mbps. What I'll do now, 2 into, is Mbps, right? I need to convert into kbps. 1024 again into 1024 by 8. Correct.
Yeah.
Let's calculate. 2 into 1024 into 1024 divided by 8. Okay, it's 26214 something. So now we need to give that number here.
26214.
Okay. So whenever you made any change to property file, right, we'll simply restart the JMeter. So that the new changes will be affected. Now we'll run the same test again and we'll see. Okay, now see, the response is a little bit lower. So it's better only.
Before that, what was there? Before 0?
I think this website is serving with the speed of the location. Okay, let's do one more thing. We'll double it, the value.
So when it was 0, then it was considering your internet speed, right?
Yes, considering my speed. Now it should take this one values.
And it should be so that the response time will be slow, right?
Correct. You will get a higher values.
Higher values, yeah.
Let's again calculate. If it's like, assume that 1 kbps, 1024 divided by 8. Let's restart again. No, it's serving this values number as well. But that's a concept. Because this application is like very low application, I guess. It's working from anywhere. Okay. But we should have an idea, right?
Yeah.
So we should use CPS. Okay. And don't forget, once you're done with the test, just again disable it. Otherwise, again, we don't know, right? We thought, okay, that's like a network, that's why we're letting that go. Okay. Now, now whatever we covered, right? Everything is in the basic version. Basic version is standard version of JMeter. So, as I mentioned, right, it's an open source tool. And it's not like that all the requirements in the world it won't be met by JMeter. There is a changes, right? There is a requirement, there is a new project. There is a lot of things. It's not like one tool can handle all the requirements. Correct. So what developers did, right? They provided one more option so that anyone can customize the code. And suppose we have written the code, right, for something, for our like assessment, something like that. You thought this may help for some other projects. Some other projects may have kind of requirements like comparison data. So what you can do, right? You can contribute to JMeter by using some code. Okay, so you can contribute to JMeter team and they can review your code and they can push into a new version of it. It's a very new thing. Okay, so this concept we call as plugins. JMeter plugins. So these versions are coming from the like this kind of these requirements. People who have contributed or people who are giving suggestions to JMeter team, kind of. So you will get a lot of very advanced components from these plugins only. Okay, so it's always advisable to use JMeter plugins. Okay, so how will install it? You just go to jmeterplugins.org. Okay, just click on install. Right, then it's asking download plugin manager and put into Ubuntu external and restart JMeter. So we just all did that and we'll restart the JMeter. So once you restart JMeter, we'll see these options. In the options, you'll see plugin manager. Before that, before keeping the jar, right, you won't be seeing this option. So once you restart, you'll see this option. Just click on it. And for me, I will install these things that are showing here. For you, it will show everything like under So I would suggest install most of the things, even though you're not required, but you will have an idea. Okay. Then sometimes you'll get some errors with the license or something, and then you can ignore, you can uninstall them. So if you want to know specific thing, right, you can just simply select whatever you want, and JMeter will load everything here. And you can just go to the documentation and you can understand what is what and what is required. Right? So I will select here most of the things which are required for me. I don't require Cassandra. JMeter functions, so custom thread groups. See, all of things are there. So this is an important one. You can see all important thread groups you can see here. So whatever you feel, right, it's good, it's better that you can use it. Here parallel control, we got it. Random CSV. This is a new one. Okay, we're talking more random, right? Instead of getting unique in a sequence, this is random. And Selenium WebDriver support. Test plan check tool, put shaping timer. Or just installing whatever I feel it's important. WebSocket. XML plugins, protocols, it's not standards. Okay. This is like I feel whatever the important I can install. We apply changes and restart JMeter. So it won't take much time, but this is I'm using external, right? I mean like home Wi-Fi, so there is no restrictions. But if you're going for any companies, right? I mean in the company network and the company proxy, you can't install these plugins easily.
Okay.
If they're not allowing from the external sources, no. So they have the suppose if you take an example as my company only. Okay, I can't install from like this. So I have separate repo in JMeter repo in JMeter. I need to use that one. So I need to point. I need to point that. Sorry.
My friend got fired. He downloaded something in JP. So Cognizant fired him actually. JP Morgan client side is fine, but now he is a client in JP. JP considered him, but this was a like security breach as per our company, and they kicked him out.
Very dangerous.
Yeah.
So we have to point to that our company or our own proxy report to JMeter download, because how JMeter knows? JMeter nothing. JMeter knows nothing, right? So I will show you meanwhile. So what we have to do is we have to go to again bin.file, the JMeter properties. So here you have to write. I'll show you. So plugin manager. Okay, so he is not there. So in the last, right, I will write the new lines here. I will share that line from my system file from the office. Okay.
Okay.
So here it is a JMeter plugin manager kind of hash. JMeter plugins and they have one keyword is there. Repo URL kind of something. Okay. So if you write this URL, right, so JMeter will try to download plugins from this one.
Okay.
Right. So in the interview, they will ask most of the things. How you download the plugin from the like companies like this. Okay. So whatever the company, your company is giving this one, right? So you just update here and restart so that JMeter down. This will point in from that one. Right.
Okay.
So how will you identify the components? If you go to anything, right? Let's take a sampler.
You don't need to restart it.
So it's restarted automatically. It's restarted. You can see the starting of this component JP at the rate of GC. Wherever you see this extra tag before any component, that is coming from the plugin. Okay. So JP at the GC means the earlier definition of JMeter plugins at the rate of Google. Okay, that's earlier. Now they kept the same thing to avoid any scams or combinations. Okay, right. So for every component, whatever you added, right? For every component, you might see this. Okay, so we should have an idea, okay, on which component what could be there. Like so every component, mostly you will be seeing this JP at the JC. No, listen, everything. So now we need to know what are few important things here and why we need to use the JMeter. So for any document, right, you can go through from this JMeter plugin website only. The document you can see everything will mention, and whatever we have, whatever the new things here, right? Everything they mention. Just suppose we can go. So let's take a what are functions is there. This says soon random is there, and what is syntax? How to use it? Kind of. Like from this document, we'll get in everything. So I would always suggest to you go through the document at a time. So we'll have in our memory, okay, this component is kind of a component to JMeter, we can use it. So currently we're blind, right? We don't know anything of plugin. So how will know? How will know which component is available and how can it help you? Right? That's why if you go through this, then you will get a basic idea. Oh, this component is there, this component is there, we can use it. That's helpful in that way. Right? Yeah. Okay. So again, if you check this plugin manager, so again, if there's something like after 1 or 2 months, if there is upgrade, right, you will see the upgrade here. Again, we simply select, we will get it. Okay. Otherwise, if there is new things there, you can search for again here. The new plugin is there, like that. You can get to know. Okay, so these are the plugins. So why we mentioned why I was down plugins, because all the advanced functions, Selenium, the whatever the influx, whatever things which we want to explore, and everything will come to plugin only. Okay. So now before that, we'll go with the DB concept or WebDriver. I'm just thinking which could be a better now. Let's go with this script Selenium then. Okay, so we'll cover the Selenium. So you worked on Selenium, right?
No.
All right. Okay. So I have any idea on Selenium? Why it is
I know it's like a automation. I have worked on QTP.
Oh, QTP, no. Selenium, huh? That's the first rule, right? Which in the market. Yeah, very first rule. And no one uses coding, no one knows coding, but they have to use QTP. That senior rule.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why we are talking Selenium and JMeter? Because both are open source. So JMeter helps you to connect with any open source tool. Because this is also open source, that is also open source. There are chances that anyone can merge it. You can't use Selenium in the load runner directly. Correct? Because that's commercial. They didn't provide any plugin or all that to use Selenium. But in JMeter, it's not like. Okay. So before go to so what is Selenium? Selenium is nothing but an automation tool where it uses a JSON formatted APIs to communicate with a browser to your code. Suppose if I write driver.get something, it means it will open the URL. So it's nothing but hitting a API inside the browser to open that one using the JSON. So Selenium is using a library. Okay, it's from the library you can use an API. So and most of things Selenium will be using for auto-based testing for that to UI side.
Correct.
Functional side. But where JMeter is a backend, which will completely depend on the APIs. We don't care about the UI. So then what is the importance? Why? So in the initial I mentioned that JMeter is not a browser. It can't handle functional client-side things, right? If there is any JavaScript server or is there any code or encoding, something happen on the browser side, JMeter can't do that. Because JMeter can hit only the API and get it. Whatever the client functionality is happening, JMeter can't record or can't do anything there. So for those cases, to use that particular part which you are missing from the API. But and again, frequent use of Selenium and JMeter is not advisable because it opens the browser and it will suppose you're running 1,000 users in the script, what will happen? It will open 1,000 browsers in your system.
Correct. Yes, work like true client.
Sorry?
It's work like true client protocol in load.
True client, exactly. Yeah. But if you open 1,000 browsers in the system, what's gonna happen?
It will take the memory CPU and make the system down.
So that's why always advisable to use very limited numbers to user to get some data to somewhere. That's it. You should not go higher, right? So to use.
But the response time is acceptable in Selenium.
Not for the response time, for functionality wise.
But
suppose
response time wise we cannot use it, right?
No, we can't use the response because it's giving very higher one. That's not proper one. That's only for to achieve the functionality to get the data. Whatever the client side we are missing, right? For that purpose we will use it. Okay, right. Now, to use the Selenium, we can use any programming language like Python, Java, C++, .NET, anything, any language you can use to use Selenium. So here in JMeter, is mostly we depend on Java, right? We'll use the Java only. And JMeter has own language. Top of Java to use Selenium. That's like it's kind of regional only. Okay? Let's see now. So to use it, right, for Selenium, let's check for the templates, whether we can see anything in the templates or not. So that is easy, no? Oh, there is no template. Okay, let's create from our own. So again, first thing we'll use that group and let's thread group. And again, we'll use in a HTTP request which for REST API, right? Now we're using Selenium in the browser. So that's why again WebDriver sampler. You can see WebDriver sampler. WebDriver is the function in the Selenium. One of the functions Selenium which helps to communicate. So it's called WebDriver sampler, right? And this is a just working code where you can write here. But we need some browser, right, to communicate. So that's where you come from config element, add config element. You can see all the browsers available. So whatever the browser you want to test it, you can select it. So I'll use Chrome here. Okay. Add Chrome. Right. Now and add a listener registry. Let's save this. Okay. So in the code, what I have written simply. So you should use this first line and last line always in our code, because that's only JMeter will calculate the time. Okay. So sample.start and sample.start always in the starting line, and sample.end will always in the last line. So in between whatever, right, that is a code it will do. And here you can select this language. Whatever the language you can choose it, na? JMeter will give you that one. You can see Java, Groovy, Beanstalk, anything you can select. Okay. So here what I have written, WDS is nothing but WebDriver sampler. So browser.get means I'm asking to open this URL. Okay. So now let's run this one for one time. Then we'll keep on adding this code. We'll run this. Oh, we are getting errors. Oh, sorry, browser has been not configured. Sorry, I forgot to give the browser driver. So you mentioned Chrome, right? So how it will open the Chrome? It has to talk with my Chrome, na? Or something, right? So I need to give you a Chrome driver.
Okay.
So first I need to download Chrome driver. Then what I will do, simply Chrome driver download. For any browser, it should be there. Okay, you can see Chrome WebDriver from Chrome. So what I version, based on my current version, we should use. Okay, so what is my version? It's 96. So I should use similar to that one. If I'm closing Chrome version 96, please download Chrome 96.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, just download, because Selenium, right, very particular about the versions. So which one mine is Windows, Apple or Linux or Windows. So we'll go with Windows. Okay, let's extract. Okay. And we will give this path to JMeter, so that JMeter knows where to pick up the browser. Okay, and we'll give this one / Chrome driver.exe, whatever the name it is there. What is the name? It's Chrome driver.exe. So I'm saying that JMeter use this driver to open as a browser. Okay, and can ignore everything. Okay, let's run now. See, now browser got open. You can see that Chrome is being controlled by Automated software, and you can see JMeter website, and it's done. Close. And if you check here, and you'll get the response of whatever you see there. Let me change it to HTML. See JMeter website. Okay, so let's try with a different thing. In the web browser, right? After that, I want to open some other website. So again, what I'll do, just simply copy this line. Okay, I will give HTTPS our upload, or shall we try any other website?
Anything is fine. Yeah.
Let's go at Amazon. Amazon.com. Okay. Let's see. So it will open the first JMeter website, then it will open with Amazon. In case you now got Amazon.com and you can't close. Okay. So like this, now, right. Now, but in the real time, we have to click on, we have to get the data, need to pass user data, right? Same way, we also write the same thing here. Okay. So let's search for the code in the internet instead of searching our own, right? So that we can try with. So what I will do simply, Selenium JMeter with Selenium. There is a lot of code is there. Okay, we did the same. Chrome. Just login for. Oh shit, they didn't give much. Because I have the code which has like I've written like long back to pass the username to click on that. So I lost the JMX file. So in Java I can write easily, but this WDS, right? It's a little bit hectic. Okay, let's see. We'll use this one. Okay, we'll simply copy this and we'll go to that. Okay. Control C. Right. Okay, so they're importing the package for the extra thing, right? And they kept the weight. Now you can see sample start, and you can see they're getting the get latency some value, and they can print the sample dot started, so that we get to know what is happening in the inside the script. Okay. So again, web browser get some website they're giving. Again, we're printing the log.info to print here. And see now here using the send keys. So send keys is the WebDriver class where you can send the data. So first we need to get the package name, right? I mean, first we get the element. So how will we get the element? So let's take what is the URL they are using. Let's use this one. Control C. Oh, it's not there. Fine. Let's do something. Suppose I want to search something. How I'll do? Because I need to know this element, right? Expert. We call inspect. Something here. So by ID, by type, by anything, any attribute, you can write a thing here, right? So same thing. That's the same, but here we have to use different names only. See here by dot name, by dot ID, by dot thing like that. You can give the something and name, and you can use the same find elemental like Selenium, and this will change. So like this, enter the password, enter the username, and again sign in. You can see it by dot xpath. Okay, and again sign off link. Something is there like again xpath. And let's run this code. Anyway, to get failed because the URL is not there. Okay, it failed, right? Now what JMeter will do? It will wait. It will wait for the new URL. You can see here. Sample started, sample ended. But still waiting, you can see, right? Still running because they are waiting for the response. So after some time, it will give a timeout error and will fail. Sample started printed. Okay, and printed here. So it's looking for this element. Understood?
Yeah. But how it will means like what is the starting point of the transaction, ending point of the transaction? Suppose I will capture the login transaction time, launch transaction time.
From here only, right? From where I was hitting the URL. This is where starting URL, no? So from here it will start the calculating response time. Whenever you start using end, right? So then it will stop calculating the response time.
Okay.
If I write after the logic now here after end, it will work, but it won't calculate the response time.
But how it will display the response time? That is something.
Like this, you can click on this one now. We will stop it. It's waiting for it. Okay. Same thing. It shows is 5 seconds. And for it is like a 105 seconds because it's waiting.
No, so that means suppose for an example, we are having a website, launching the website, and log in, then do a search. Right. Launch, I want to see the way JMeter works. Launch is like 3 seconds, login to 5 seconds, search is 3 seconds.
That won't display here at any no cost.
Then what is there here? Then what load time of?
No, the load time is complete thing. The where it start to open the browsers from opening browser to closing the browser till that is the response time here. Because suppose see, if I run with let's go with some our normal thing. Let me disable this. Then again I'll write web driver sampler. Let me show you. Add sampler. Okay. Suppose if I give 5 users from that, right? Now, what is there? Simply is opening the JMeter website. It opens 5 browsers. You can see here 1, 2, and they're all done. If I go to view users tree, so you can see this time is opening the browser, hitting the application, closing it.
It will add a view results to your aggregate report, right? And can you go to the code? No, I got it. Yeah. I mean, it's like there is no way we can add a transaction point there, right?
No, yes. It simply is giving the whole thing what JMeter is doing from the starting to ending, because it doesn't know, right? It is which API, which base.
So the thing is, Ravi said like good challenge actually. So in my current project, right, they are moving to React.js.
React.js, okay.
And in React.js, most of the things like in Facebook also a React.js application, okay. So right, React.js mostly when you will drag down progress bar, you will pull it down the scroll bar, data is getting loaded. So most of the things you will get only the API calls.
Correct.
You will not see anything there. Means like there is no way it is handled. It is difficult to handle in any performance testing tool because it creates a lot of messages. Means like API calls, a lot of. So even also in LoadRunner, they are suggesting you have to go with the true client protocol.
Right. Okay.
Because true client protocol, at least you can do it through the browser. If you have sufficient memory and machines available, then you can do it. But in JMeter, if you're using Selenium, at least in true client, you can put a transaction response point, right? Transaction name. But then in JMeter, it's not doable, correct?
No, yes, it's not doable. Everything seems to count. So everything from end to end. So you won't get like a between. I mean, you can't break the flow here to get that response times.
Yeah. So they are now doing a POC on BlazeMeter. Okay. So I just get into this into last 2 days, but in BlazeMeter I can say that I can see there are two way of there it's doing the scripting. One is it supports the Selenium way, another is the JMX.
Right. Yes.
So in JMX, it is the same like log messages with JSON, big JSONs are there.
Right.
So
Yes.
that means, yeah. So that means even also you record through BlazeMeter, if you are making a JMX script, it is not going to work.
Yeah, it won't
So
work. Yeah.
yeah, even also you will do a Selenium and you are putting transaction, then there is no way you can maintain that Selenium properly.
Yeah. Right. Correct. True.
You have to be, and the response time wise, it's not going to be accurate also. That is also another point.
Yes. Yes. True.
So that means then BlazeMeter is going to be flop here then, correct?
Yes. Yes. Like only 2%, 3% are using that concept in the BlazeMeter. Out of
So then
100%, right? Because BlazeMeter spot that option such that they need to say a vendor, I mean the sellers like us to buy the BlazeMeter license, saying that okay, they have also Selenium support. That's only there.
your voice
But
is breaking down.
yeah, so see, BlazeMeter has that option to only to sell their tool, saying that they have a capability for everything. But we can't use in a real time efficiently.
No, then I am going to break the glass tomorrow because like today I did this. Now then tomorrow I will say that through BlazeMeter is not going to happen. Already a guy already spent 9 months on this.
Oh God.
And he said like BlazeMeter can doable. Then I asked him, when you are recording the script in JMeter, when you are doing the recording through BlazeMeter extension through Chrome, what is the difference between that? If you see difference, then makes sense. If you don't see any difference, that means whatever you are getting in JMeter, the same you are getting in JMX, that means it's going to no use.
But see, there is one more difference. If you go and record with extension, right? So BlazeMeter as option have Selenium script as well.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, but Selenium script.
See, there is option, but you can't use it that either way.
Exactly, that's what I wanted to say. So the best part is either go with a load runner true client with cloud option.
That is the best option. Whenever going with Selenium kind of thing, I always advisable with the load runner. Assume that if it is like 1-2 pages, right? It's better with JMeter. But you have very big flow, gathering the data, hitting it, then JMeter is not suitable there.
They want to do a total end-to-end application around 173 flow.
Oh,
they want to cover it. So for Selenium, if you do like, I know like in JP Morgan Chase, when they migrated to JMeter from BlazeMeter, some people they developed the script in Selenium and executed a test because I have to give the sign up. The response time were around 10 seconds, 8 seconds, 9 seconds. I simply denied that. I said him like don't do with that because like your response time is not going to work over there.
Correct.
The actual response time would be like 2 seconds.
2 seconds, 1 second, yeah.
So that's why I denied. So since we discussed all this about this, right? So this is something I did in the daytime today, like how BlazeMeter works because I forgot. So I realized like if we are recording, do you have 5 minutes, 10 minutes? Do you have BlazeMeter setup on your system local? Okay. Let's do the Airbnb, just 2 or 2-3 step recording.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it. So let's use WebLoad, okay? Our dummy.
No, Airbnb. That is a React.js application.
Which one?
Airbnb.
AR?
Airbnb site.
Airbnb.
Yeah.
.co.in or any other domain?
Airbnb.ca. That do it. Anything. They have .ca. Canada. CA. Yeah, that one. Just copy it. Copy the URL.
No, we'll do with BlazeMeter here only, no?
Yeah, only BlazeMeter. Just do the recording and create the JMX file. So once you see the JMX file, then you will suggest that tomorrow I can blast it. That this is not going to work out. Wasting of time unnecessary, right?
Unnecessary, correct, true. We'll record following. Okay. We'll record as using it may helpful Selenium also. We'll keep these things. Okay.
Mm.
And simply start recording, and I'll simply hit the home page. You can see, right? UI, it has
Yeah.
two parts.
Do some to click on the search button on your right side. Pull that down. Yeah. Click on the search. Yeah. Then click on I am flexible. Just drag little bit down on your right. These are all React.js calls and stop it. Yeah. There are server requests. See, it is increasing, right? Just stop it now.
Okay.
Now go to, yeah, edit. No, okay, save. Okay. JMeter. No, go. Okay.
No, let me
You
log in.
have
Let
it.
me log in. That's right.
Log in. Otherwise, yeah.
Save. We'll download both the things. Okay.
Only Airbnb. Only Airbnb. Don't other. Only Airbnb.
Not required.
No, only that host one we need, right?
So we'll download Selenium as well.
Yeah, just do download both the things. Let's see.
So we'll use Java WebDriver. Okay, Java WebDriver with TestNG.
Okay. Or Selenium only YAML. That's it. Up the top on here.
Yeah, that's also okay.
That's it. Let's see.
Yep.
Now open the JMX in JMeter. Sorry, I dragged you in this.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, learning.
Now see the see check each request.
Correct.
They are like log tracking messages, right?
Yeah. Okay, let's open the YAML file. This is kind of API only, you can see here.
So basically, this cannot be doable then through like any of the tool, right? Because it captures only the APIs, right?
Correct. You see, this is capturing endpoint, and given this like particular things, but there is not like breakup or nothing. Let's open that Java and Selenium. Maybe we may get anything. Okay, this is also code only. Yeah, this is nice, yeah. They converted the Java code. But again, this is also Selenium code which you written in the Java, right? It's not like a load point view.
This is not going to work out for like if you are planning for proper load test.
That's right. See, this is like our functional automation code. That's it. It's not like it's helping for the performance testing.
Because I know like True Client, the way it works, True Client response time is almost accurate compared to Selenium. Selenium response time is higher.
Right.
But the JMX file what you got, right? So that is my observation is correct, right? That cannot be controllable, right? We cannot do.
Yes, not controllable.
Can you open that JMX? Can you go there? JMeter one. Yeah. Just click on any request.
Mm-mm.
See, every request is like this.
Mm. It's posting the data. It's all.
Then how much data you are going to correlate and all those things? It's not possible, right?
Yeah, hectic, man. It's possible, but lot of time you have to spend it. If you miss
Yeah,
one
you have
raw
to
data,
spend.
right? One element, no, that's it.
And yeah, so it's like if there is a new request get added, you never know like how to control that.
You don't know from where you will get the input of that one and the output. Again, you have to record everything. Again, you have to do from scratch.
As long as the number of requests are same, that is fine. But if the requests are more, then I think it is going to be even also if the requests are same, then even you have to do a lot of hard work on the side.
Yes, a
And
lot of
it's a lot of effort.
Yes.
Lots of effort also.
Yeah.
So can I say that like BlazeMeter is not a solution?
Yeah, for this you can say simply say.
Yes, with BlazeMeter, extension recording is not a solution.
Right, yes. You have to use the true client only, that is a better. From my experience.
What these people are doing. 9 months on this. And they are trying to integrate that on the in the plat. They are getting into the farm. They are working on that. They will do the setup and they will do a POC on the existing website. So if that is existing website, if that is the endpoint you want to see, then okay. But the thing is, if you are considering React.js kind of thing and you tested Airbnb as a sample, then I will suggest it's going to be a no. If you are expecting the same behavior for the new code base or React.js, then I will say simply BlazeMeter, JMeter, these are not going to be a solution. LoadRunner with True Client having cloud-based system is going to be the best solution.
Oh, right, yeah, just say the line.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Okay. So this is a same name concept. Now it's clear, right? With the JMeter and
just the 2-3 steps. I remember the 2-3 steps. If you have something solid, then probably you can discuss.
No, yeah, I need to download code again from the internet only because we won't be using this one.
Okay. Just send me the save that code. Send me the JMX as well as
Sure. I will share everything.
The video.
Okay. I will connect tomorrow.
Tomorrow 7, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you, Ravi. Bye.